Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. The United States of America is set to impose sweeping sanctions on 17 countries worldwide, and a Caribbean nation is at the heart of it. In this video I will explain to you why this Caribbean country is under threat of US sanctions, which will affect up to 17 countries. In this video I will explain to you exactly what is happening and the Caribbean nation that the US is keeping an eye on, particularly countries that does a citizenship by investment program. The US is keeping an eye on these countries, but Dominica, the Commonwealth of Dominica, is of high interest to the United States of America. And this is breaking news coming out of the US right now. And this story was carried by the Antigua newsroom, which headlines Dominica passport at the center of US sanctions targeting Iran oil network. Now, Iran has a massive oil network and Iran is under US sanctions. So what the US is saying is that Iran is using Caribbean passports. Citizens of Iran is using Caribbean passports so that they can sell their oil worldwide to Russia and China, bypassing US sanctions. The United States has imposed its most sweeping sanctions on Iran since 2018, targeting an extensive oil shipping network allegedly used to skirt global restrictions. At the heart of the operation is a Dominica-issued passport, reportedly obtained under the alias, the name Hugo Haik, by Mohammed Mohsen Shamkhani, the son of a top advisor to the Iran's supreme leader. So this is a son to a top advisor to the Iran supreme leader. So this person is high up in the Iranian government. According to the US Treasury Department, Shamkhani used the Dominican passport acquired through the country's citizenship by investment (CBI) program to obscure his identity and circumvent international scrutiny. This document allegedly facilitated the involvement in laundering billions of dollars through illicit Iranian and Russian oil sales, primarily to Chinese buyers. The sanctions announced on July 30th include 115 destinations across 17 countries. The measures target 52 oil vessels, 15 shipping companies, and 53 entities accused of enabling the sale of shipping of sanctioned oil. US officials warned that anyone involved in the Iranian oil trade risk being cut off from American financial system. The revelations are expected to reignite concerns about the integrity of the Caribbean Citizenship by Investment Program and their potential exploitation by individuals seeking to evade international sanctions. Now, my friends, I'm going to talk about this story right now. Iran is trying to sell its oil to Russia and China. But because Iran is under US sanctions, Iran, agents of Iran, uses passports such as the Caribbean passports to sell their oil to Russia and China. The only thing illegal about this is that they are under sanctions, so they're not supposed to sell their oil abroad to whether Russia or China. But it's not illegal, my friends, because Iran is just selling their natural resources. But because they're under sanctions, they're barred from trading properly so that they can make money. That is how the Western world controls the financial system, the money system. They decide who makes money and who don't make money. Because remember, Russia is under heavy sanctions as well, but Russia figured out a way how to sell its resources throughout the world, whether to China, India, Africa, Asia. Russia still makes a lot of money. And Russia is, I think, maybe the fastest growing country in Europe, even though it is under heavy US and European sanctions. That is how strong Russia is. Iran has been under US sanctions for years now, and Iran continue to make a lot of money through the sales of their oil. Now the US and Europe is trying to slow down Iran and Russia because they see Iran and Russia as a threat to Western power. The Western world wants total power and control over the whole world, and they see Russia, countries like Russia and China and Iran, as a threat. So that is why they're trying to control the amount of money that they make. But they're not doing anything illegal. All they're doing is trading, selling what they have. But they are not allowed to sell what they have properly because of US sanctions. And this is meant to limit the amount of money that they make, my friends. This is how the Western world control the money system. And now they're threatening to sanction 17 countries, including Dominica. I understand that just yesterday, the passport that the US said is under concern that the Iranian has, the Dominican passport that I just mentioned, that a top son of the Iranian supreme leader bought a Dominican passport. That passport has been revoked. The Dominican government quickly revoked that passport because if the US placed sanctions on the Dominica financial system, that's it. That country is finished because the Caribbean nation islands depend fully on the US financial system. Without the US financial system, the Caribbean nations are in big trouble. So all the US have to do is to put a block on the Caribbean financial system, and that's it. They cannot do any business worldwide. Their monies cannot be spent worldwide. It will cripple the economies throughout the Caribbean. Russia and China has came up with a new financial system. The BRICS have a new financial system that they use to bypass US sanctions. I believe the Caribbean and Africa should seriously consider this system, look into it, and have it as a backup plan in case one day the US cut the Caribbean US financial system and we're not able to do business throughout the world. Then we can adopt another system rather than to have no system at all. Cannot fully depend on the United States of America, because any day the United States can wake up tomorrow morning and say all CARICOM countries are under financial sanctions now, unless they do this and they do that and they do what US want. and then the Caribbean nations will be forced to do exactly what the US wants. That is what happens when we put all our eggs in one basket, my friends. And that is why I say it is important for us as a people to bridge the gap between the African continent and its diaspora, which includes the Caribbean nation islands. So if you're watching for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel and like this video and share it with all your friends and family. You can also sign up and become a channel member by clicking the link in this description box and join the channel and become one of my valued channel members. And this will help to support our community so that we can grow bigger and stronger than ever before. I say thank you to all of my current channel members. You're doing so much in maintaining the strength and productivity of this channel. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I say thank you to my over 40,000, over 41,000 subscribers to this channel. Thank you for your continued support. I will continue to bring to you breaking news that affect the African continent and the Caribbean, which is the African diaspora, and also African Americans makes up the African diaspora, and Africans throughout Europe, the UK. It's a big African market for the Caribbean and Africa. We also have Canada. A lot of our Caribbean and African people live in Canada. We also have our brothers and sisters in Brazil and Colombia and other parts of South America. Even though there's a big language barrier, they're still of African descent. And we send you much love from the Caribbean nation islands, which is the most powerful nation of Africans outside of Africa. Because the Caribbean nation islands, the difference between African Americans and the Caribbean nation islands, African Americans have more money. Yes, they have more money and wealth, but the Caribbean have more power because the Caribbean are led by black Africans in the Caribbean. The governments in the Caribbean are black. We're able to vote at the United Nations. We're able to trade with other countries. We're able to do a lot of things. Whereas African Americans, Donald Trump is their president. And African Americans, they have a white government. So they're limited. It's a white country. America is a white country. So they're limited on what they can do in America. They have the money, yes. They can live a lavish lifestyle, but the power to trade with other countries, to make policy is not there in the United States of America with our people, the African Americans in the United States of America. That is why I say the Caribbean and Africa must lead the way and bridge the gap. Direct flights, direct trade. There was an African Caribbean forum in Grenada where leaders of the Caribbean spoke, and I'm pleased to announce that they are continuing their good work in bridging the gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. I have been talking about this for a long time, even before Caribbean leaders. So I'm happy that they are now listening to me, listening to us, the people, and what we want. We want the gap to be bridged. We want direct trade with Africa. We want people-to-people contact, direct flights. That's what we want, direct flights from the Caribbean to Africa. I continue to call for that. Direct shipping of money and material and food. Direct connection, direct collaboration with tourism, health, education. My friends, there's a lot we can do together. Let us bridge that gap. between the African continent and the African diaspora. And I will have some great news for you coming soon, my friends. I am making another step in my journey. I will not only be a YouTuber talking to you, my friends, but I will be taking action, decisive action, to change policy in my Caribbean nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. I will be taking decisive action to take power in St. Kitts and Nevis, government power, so that I can change policy and bridge that gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. This is why I need your help. I will need your continued support now more than ever, because I will make that full announcement when it's available. But I am tired of talking. This is time for action. I will continue to talk on these videos, but my friends, I will be taking decisive action as well. All talk is over. Let us bridge that gap between the African continent and the African diaspora. My name is Beyond. This is Beyond Uncut. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you tomorrow in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, like the video, share it with all your friends and family. Sign up to become a channel member. I also have a travel channel where I posted a blog the other day, a vlog of me walking around picking fruits. The video was about how you can live for free in the Caribbean. Free food in my village, all over. Walk through the village and pick many different fruits and tea leaves. I have that video on my travel channel. Click this link in this description box. Go on over to that channel, watch that video, and subscribe to that channel. But before you do so, subscribe to this channel. And thank you for watching today, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Much love, and bye-bye.